Hello, my name is Jam, and welcome to another Bishoujo action figure review. Today we'll be looking at the Figma of Lanna, a character created by Shunya Yamashita, which appears in a column called Plastic Angels in the Japanese magazine Armour Modelling. She released in May 2022 and retails for around $108 US. Lanna comes in the larger format Figma box, which is necessary to contain the larger accessories she comes with, which we'll get to later in the review. The box is in the familiar Figma format, featuring excellent product photos on all sides of the box and multiple photos on the back, which is great for posing ideas. I've always loved how there are different photos on the different sides of the box, so if you display the box on the shelf, you can choose which photo you prefer. Inside the box, the figure and accessories come in collector-friendly plastic trays. My only gripe is that the stand and extra hands are taped underneath the bottommost tray. This is pretty common for Figmas nowadays, but I really miss a dedicated spot in the tray for these accessories. It just makes storing them much easier. On to the figure itself. The sculpt work is excellent and attributed to Hiroshi Yuasa of Max Factory. Lanna wears an interesting bikini type of outfit with black thigh-high stockings and high-heeled shoes. She also wears an optional tail jacket and side cap. It all matches the source material, as this is an outfit she has appeared in on the cover of Shunya Yamashita's Plastic Angels illustration book. Lanna and her partner Andre appeared in the magazine Armour Modelling, so their outfits skew towards a military theme, most notably here in the straps that resemble harnesses, and her side cap, which is a style common in the military. Her hair and face sculpts are well done and capture that classic Shunya Yamashita style. I like how sharply detailed her heart and star-shaped hair clip looks. Her hair is tied in a ponytail with a purple ribbon. Details in the hair aren't super sharp, but they are sharp enough considering the scale, and it's in line with the level of detail found in most Figmas. There are two more alternate faces for Lanna, one with a winking expression and one with her eyes closed, but sculpt-wise there's not a whole lot of variation. Lanna's body is beautifully sculpted with just the right amount of detail in just the right spots. If you're into the thickness, then you'll love how her thighs spill over the top of her stockings. I like the straps on her outfit, which help elevate it above just a regular bikini, and the sculpt work on them give them a realistic look. Her jacket looks appropriately puffy, and I like the way it is worn loosely around her shoulders like in the artwork. The sleeves are separate from the body of the jacket, so the articulation isn't restricted. This can lead the jacket to look a bit segmented, but overall I still think it looks good. Speaking of articulation, let's take a quick look at all of Lanna's joints and their range of motion. She has a ball joint at the head, and there's also a Figma hinge, so the head can tilt, look up and down, and swivel very easily. Her shoulders have a similar joint with a ball joint where it connects to the torso, plus a hinge along with a bicep swivel. The elbows are the more basic type of Figma hinge joint, which also allows for swiveling above the elbow. The range of motion at the elbow is just a little past 90 degrees for the jacketed arms, while the bare arms fare much better with a very wide range of motion. The wrists are hinged and can swivel above and below the joint, allowing you to pose the hands at almost any angle you need. Again, the jacketed arms are more restricted due to the cuffs of the sleeves. The upper torso is on a ball joint, and it's a double ball joint, a kind of dumbbell joint, which allows a bit of play in the way you can push the upper torso forward and back as well as tilt in all directions. There's another ball joint at the belt line, and she also has ball jointed hips. I should mention that when she has the jacket on, she can't really tilt to the sides due to the way it conforms to her body. The range of motion at the hips is not great due to her low-slung belt straps, but a sitting pose can be approximated thanks to the other torso articulation. Moving on, there's a swivel at the thighs where the stockings end. Then she has hinged knees that bend well past 90 degrees, but not as far as a double-jointed knee would. Her ankles are also hinged and can swivel, and also have the always appreciated ankle tilts. Overall, the articulation is pretty good, but there is a little bit of restriction due to the straps and jacket. Lanna has a total of 11 hands in a variety of poses. You have the left and right closed fists, left and right gripping hands, left and right open hands. Then there's more unique hands such as left and right wide gripping hands, which can be used with the nipper accessory, a right hand for holding the spray can, a right hand holding modeling nippers, and a left hand holding an airbrush. It's really cool to see the hands for the modeling tools, and I can see how they might be useful with other figures. As mentioned earlier, the jacket is optional, so alternate bare arms are provided so Lanna can appear jacketless. You simply pull out the arms from their joints and attach the new ones, and her jacket body is just pegged into her back. I think she looks great either way, and it's a nice option to have. She also has an optional side cap, and it attaches to her head with the help of a very small, thin piece of plastic that attaches to the hat and is then wedged between the front and back parts of her hair. They also use this technique with the Splatoon Squid Girl and probably some other Figmas, and I understand why they chose to do it this way, but I worry about losing the small plastic piece. If they supplied an extra one, I wouldn't be so worried about this, but they don't. And this is a very small piece. However, this attachment method assures that there is no unsightly hole in the head sculpt or peg in the cap. Lanna comes with a nice selection of accessories. You get a large pair of modeling nippers. These are meant to appear as life-sized in her hands, but they are maybe half the size of an actual pair of nippers. They can open and close, and the detailing is pretty realistic with sculpted grips and the little spring. Another neat accessory is the paint spray can. It looks great and fits in the special alternate hand sculpt perfectly, or you can just display it on the included table. The table comes in 3 pieces which fit together snugly, and it looks like a realistic modern home office table. It goes with the included pink office chair, which has non-functioning wheels that can rotate. My only gripe with the chair and table is that Lanna can't actually sit in the chair and put her legs under the table. There just isn't enough clearance for her legs to fit. It would have been nice if the chair were a tad bit lower so she could properly sit at the table, but as is, she'll just have to sit adjacent to the table. Rounding out the accessories are the usual Figma stand, extra wrist joint, and storage baggie. I should also mention that Good Smile's official product photos show papercraft accessories like a cutting mat and model kit boxes, but those are not included. The official product pages for Lanna mention that these papercrafts will be available to download after the product has been released, but as of this review, they are still not available. Paintwork on Lanna is very good. Colors are consistent throughout, and it's hard to find any technical faults. Lines and edges are very clean for the most part, such as the black and white at her jacket pockets and the red lines on her straps. I also like the silver that they're using for the buckles and spray can. It's got a nice shine and consistency. If I had to complain about something, it would be some minor inaccuracies when comparing the figure to the source material. The purple bow that ties her ponytail should actually be striped. I can understand why they didn't add the stripes, as it's a pretty complex shape to add such fine details to. So I'm fine with how it looks now, but it would have been cool to see it approximated somehow. Her ponytail should also have a streak of teal in it, and I think it could have been easily done. Another difference is that her bikini top is actually unique to her and slightly different from Anja's in that the bottom part is white with a pink stripe, along with a Plastic Angels logo at the center. It would have been nice to see this applied to the figure to differentiate her from Anja a bit more. Despite these slight differences, Lanna still looks great, and that's thanks in part to the clean paint job. All in all, if you're a fan of Shunya Yamashita's artwork and character designs, then you'll enjoy this figure. It's also pretty cool if you're into model kits, and she makes for a cool desk companion while you build. There's really only minor quibbles like the small piece of plastic used to attach the side cap to her head, or the fact that she can't fully sit at the included table. She's well sculpted and painted, and her articulation is good enough to put her in plenty of great poses. A nice selection of accessories round out the package, and it's always great to have more props and furniture to use with other Figmas. I don't have her partner Anja yet, but when I get her, I'll do a quick review to show what's different about her. Anyway, Lanna is another quality Figma, and I recommend her if she looks interesting to you. Links on where you can buy are in the description. Well, that's all for this review. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. And let me know if you have Lanna or Anje in the comments below. Jam out.